Thank you for choosing to click on the channel. Welcome all new subscribers. This is OYAOY. I'm simply here to do my job and get the messages to the collective, okay? So you guys, I'm going to hop right on in because this is a very important message that I've been meaning to do for a while. So please, guys, only take what resonates. I'm only here to give it to you so you can have it. We're all stars in our own show, but this may or may not be for you. Okay, so I had made some new cards. I was doing some studying, and this is basically for those who are actually dealing with the spiritual warfare, the level of community harassment, stalking, workplace mobbing, different stuff like this. I have not actually went into detail on this particular subject on my channel because I am starting to see that it is, starting to be a topic that a lot of people are trying to wake up to, and I just wanted to dedicate a read specifically for those that could be dealing with these type of issues and this type of warfare. Okay, so this is a trigger warning for certain people that may not be in a certain level of or healing or understanding the process or the knowledge and wisdom. Okay, so only take what you need. What was I doing? Okay, first I had pulled on some couple of messages. I don't know why I got roll came up. Okay, so I don't know if certain people are starting to see what is going on. I didn't even know that, of course we know about Roe versus Wade and stuff like that, but I did not know, the actual definition of Roe is the mass of eggs contained in the ovaries of a female fish or shellfish, typically including the ovaries themselves, especially when ripe or used as food. Okay, so I don't know, something came up about caviar, shellfish, different seafood, okay? And then I had also got return of equity. Okay, so something about euros came up. We know that this is like European currency or different things. You also see what's going on when it comes to different forms of payment and how people could be getting paid. Maybe this is why things are changing when it comes to currency or how currency is exchanged due to what currency has been used for. Okay, which is we see lately it has been offsetting the balance of certain things within the land. Okay, so something came up about the British territory, euros, the reserve currency, something about United States dollar. Okay, but like I said, this is going to be dedicated to those that are experiencing these certain tactics that people could be doing. How is everybody? I hope y'all doing good. Those that are really doing what they're supposed to do. One of the main messages that I got today was, don't give up. It could be getting hard for you, or you could be at that point where you're like, okay, what next? But always keep your faith, okay? So we're going to see what cards come out first. Like I said, I'm going to pull on this community mobbing and harassment, but I am going to pull other cards for if there's some messages we may need to know. Okay, so the first card out is the program, okay? Different perks for the perps, okay? And it's crazy because I actually was doing my research on this and I didn't know, I kept pulling on prep, which if you rearrange the letters, it is perp, okay? So this could have been something that, our guys was telling us a couple weeks ago when I was doing a read and I pulled and got prep. So we got perks within the military, intelligence agency, police, private security firms, psychology, neuroscience, medical professions, in neighborhood watch, citizens, or patrol. Vigilante street thugs are embedded within society and, in effect, form secret proxy, basically armies for the government. Okay, these break it down, right? These are basically those people that they have already been a criminal, they have already did some type of criminal activity, but they're let back out on the street with a certain promise of different payments or perks for watching certain civilians that they may have been given information to watch. Okay, and I noticed like one of the things that I was dealing with, I was actually after I had left my town, the first move that I made, I was actually staying with somebody, okay? It's almost like certain people, they want to have watched by, if it's not your actual family and friends, they will rile up, they will basically get together certain people that you could be working around, neighbors of certain people that you could be around. Um, and they may, embed some type of story, or of course, most of the times it could be lies about you. So they'll be amped up to go against you. And I was actually staying in this spot, y'all, and it was like it was for me, it was a rundown, of course. After you start your spiritual journey, you most definitely have to pick up your cross. Okay, things will change. If you have received anything um, outside of the truth, whether it's you working a job and not knowing what that company's into, or if you receiving certain benefits and not knowing what those benefits are connected to, you have to basically give it all up in order to be who God needs you to be. Okay. And I ended up taking this place. Me and my guy ended up taking this place, and it was like it was an old it was basically an old hotel, but it was converted into like little studio apartments, which there wasn't, any um, basically no filters, or no, it wasn't really supposed to be converted into apartments. But it was this man that, he was overseeing them or whatever. And every time I come out, he'll come out. It was like one of those things where I already knew what was happening, because I had already dealt with it in my town. So when I had moved, it was like I was already prepared to deal with people and they different little strange little tactics that they use. And it's almost like they want you to be pushed inside of a corner, or feel that you going crazy, or that this is how life is really supposed to be, where somebody's secretly using phone jammers or recording you, have a whole setup next door to you to secretly spy and watch. You could also be somewhere where, I always felt like when I was in the bathroom, this man was always, in the bathroom. And it's almost weird, because it's like every time you flush a toilet, somebody can flush a toilet. Or every time you go outside to check the mail, somebody coming outside to check the mail. Or when you leave, they leave. Do you see what I'm saying? This is one of the tactics that they use, okay? So I say this to say that this man, basically, when I left, he was charged with, um, kitty porn. Okay. But these are the certain things that you would deal with from certain people that feel like some type of way that are not worthy of maybe a mental transformation. Okay. Because this is all mental. You have mind. The all is mind. Okay. So this is why certain people use the things that they do against you to make it seem like, you know, this can't be real. But it's most definitely real. The warfare that they've been using against people, they know that judgment time is already here. Okay, but this goes back to certain people that have already committed some type of crime, could be used as, just some form of secret little group that, constantly watches you. So you have the U.S. government and its handlers, controllers. These individuals within these groups apparently derive so much satisfaction from hunting and torturing others. It is a lifestyle for them. Okay. And this goes back to what I said. This man literally felt good. He felt like he was, the man. Um, I would do certain things. Like he would always say things like, "Well, you really clean," and I'll be like, "Well, how do you know?" You know what I'm saying? How do you know I'm clean? But like, are you entering my apartment every time I leave or whatever? And I think this is why most of us go through what we go through, because we want to be secured somewhere where we don't have to always, look over our shoulders, or this is why the goal is also, give us our land, give us what we would do or whatever, because certain people feel like it's some type of game to keep you in a mental prison, okay? And so what they do is use certain torture tactics, whether it's noise campaigns, they constantly watching you. They using secret security and spy gear and spyware. They placing certain people around you to act out certain things and issues to see if you will be quick to basically, get involved in the weird shit that they do. Okay, so it's a lifestyle for them. These individuals tend to be predatory, psychopaths, narcissists, cowards and bullies. And when I tell you this is, I mean, it may be just a small list of what some of these people are. Okay, they most of them are predators. They literally, live their life in the form of, cat and mouse or being a hunter, hunting certain people. Okay, so we also know that this is a form of spiritual warfare. Okay, this is something that you can't constantly combat in the physical realm because it usually, it don't play out right. And I had to ask myself too, because I promise you, it's probably been plenty of times, with dealing with the program, to where I'm like, damn, they really want me to be, behind bars. It's easier for certain people to be moved out the way because you're not gonna be on this shit. Like, who has time to follow somebody else around to see if they really getting, if they really living life the way they supposed to? And I was thinking about it earlier because it's like, if everybody was literally on their, transformation journey when it comes to their spiritual and mental health, you will realize that you really don't have time to worry about anybody outside of yourself. Because once you start your transformation inside, you will see that, eventually everything else will catch on. And if it don't, you got to fall off. Okay, it's like a bad scab. You peel that motherfucker, it's gone. New skin, it heals and we move on. But some of these people are into like private security firms. I don't know why I'm getting like a like secret investigators or something. You know what I'm saying? Secret agent mans and shit. But yes, this is a part of some type of program that they have been secretly doing for years against certain people that they know do not agree with the torture and the hunting of others. Okay, so you got the program. This also is comprises fourth generation warfare waged against individuals and groups within certain populations. Okay, so you could be from a bloodline that's actually targeted by this certain program. Okay, meaning that your mom and your dad maybe had to be followed or constantly watched or harassed. And one of the things that I realized is, it's always like something set up. What's a good one that I could use? Okay, well, one of the trips that I first started making when I was leaving, I had to stay in a hotel for a while. And when I stayed in the hotel, excuse me, y'all, I'm trying not to talk too fast because, it's just how serious it is. I love what I do, but, a lot of people don't know. It comes with a lot of stuff because, a lot of us have been dealing with this for years. I'm talking about I have literally, witness people state that they have actually been dealing with this type of harassment for 20, 30, 40 years. Imagine, okay? But there was this one time I had called for a cab because I was going to catch a bus for Greyhound. I had literally just paid like close to $300, which was my last little bit of money, to go outside the state that I was in. I had just recently, completed basically time for a false charge that I had. This, of course, this is what they will do. They will set up certain things for you to get involved in, to be basically thrown behind bars for nothing. But it's already, it's what it is. God's going to always make a way, most definitely. All praises and glory to the Most High. So I had paid for my Greyhound ticket, and I knew that I was going to have to be at the bus station a certain time. So I had went ahead and basically like pre-ordered or called in my cab. Okay, so it comes to, the time I'm supposed to be leaving, about 4 or 5 in the morning to get to the bus station. And the cab wasn't showing up. So I kept calling it, and they'd be like, okay, well, we have one on the way. And then I'll call it back and be like, we have one on the way. And then I'll call and they'll be like, well, you canceled it. It's just like, this is what certain people do. And it was crazy because it's like the hotel that I was in, it was run down, full of drug addicts. But, everybody has their thing. But it was like certain people were coming in to stay that I knew damn well they didn't have no business being there. It was like people was in brand new cars, and you'll hear people speak on certain things, maybe even names that of certain people. And I was just connected to everything, so I was listening, and they'll walk past, and then I had a couple people that was knocking on the door asking for, is John here? You know what I'm saying? The dope man still live there or whatever. And they know for a fact that whoever they was looking for wasn't there, but it was just certain things that they would do. But it was like I had literally lost like almost $300 to Greyhound because Greyhound refused to um, refund me my money. They was basically like, you didn't make it. And I'm like, do y'all not understand like what's going on? It was during COVID and everything. So it was like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all policy should have been a little bit more better when it came to, refunding people their money. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. But it was like they kept on calling and canceling my cab. So it's just like certain things that they do. Okay. So you got certain warfare is waged against individuals and groups within certain populations. We all know that there has been, a few people that could be in your neighborhood if they wasn't actually committed to some type of mental institution, or if they wasn't actually, thrown behind bars and this person was a good person, or they, gave up. Homelessness has a lot to do with it. It's almost like they want, all those people to be homeless because, when you lose everything, you feel like you lose it all, okay? And when I'm telling you, me losing it all, it made me want to gain even more. And it was first my spiritual protection, because I didn't realize the warfare that they was basically waging after I started calling and speaking up about this stuff that was going on in my own neighborhood. So it deploys invisible directed energy, non-lethal weapons and narrow weapons, as well as the use of civilians. So those are those people again, certain people that may, receive free rent or rental cars or gift cards, free phone bills, a trip to, Burger King or some shit. These certain people are used as, irregular forces. Okay, so you have politicians and others who covertly blacklisted and targeted under auspices of the phony war on terrorism. Okay, so this is once again one of the phony things that they use. Oh, we are basically targeting terrorists or conspiracy theorists or those that, don't want to be conformed into this type of torture with, if you're not helping some of these people do what they do, they will try to, if it's not blacklist, blackball, shadow ban, different things like this is what they'll do. Okay. And this is also what they call like a no touch torture. Okay, because if you once again, you can't see the devil, you see through. So certain people go through things and you're not knowing, like, you literally getting hit. You feel those hits, but where are those hits coming from? Okay. I'm telling you, it's all in the mind. Okay, so you got the separation of powers here. You have legislative, executive, judicial, federal, tribal, state, county, local, military, legal contest, criminal procedures, probable cause, Miranda warnings, arrest warrants, search and seizures. Okay, so you could have actually dealt with some form of case after being secretly involved in the program. Okay, this is basically, you've had to, go through some type of standing in faith here, trusting in your journey, because this is like somebody was like, there's reasonable suspicion for this person, or there's probable cause. And I'm telling you, when this happened to me, I was literally like, this cannot be real. y'all cannot be serious. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody perfect out here, but ain't nobody out here doing nothing that prompts this type of, trauma. Okay, because it is trauma. It causes severe trauma to certain people that may, be arrested and thrown in chains and, lived within those certain walls and institutions without actually doing anything to prompt that. But, people are connected with people, and spiritually we on the battlefield. Okay, so somebody could have already had some type of arrest, or constantly being, pulled over. This was another thing that I was going through. I was literally at a store one time, and my dude, we was pulled over simply because he looked like a dude, but the description didn't even match him. But these certain people, they already knew by spirit that we, was doing something different. So we was actually pulled over. And I'm telling you, when we moved, we was actually pulled over probably about 7, 8 times. It was like to the point where the same officer was like, damn, it's them again. He started letting us go. Because I'm like, I kept praying in spirit. I'm like, come on now. Like, if the people are really out here trying to live a life of, not necessarily saying perfection, but if they are trying to do things to transform their life in a positive way, leave them the fuck alone. Okay. And it was crazy because when I had got locked up, they didn't read me no Miranda rights. So I don't even know what, I don't know if you dealing with that. But Miranda is out here. And it was crazy because I had seen something where they was like, well, we don't have to read. Okay, but y'all expect people to abide by certain laws, but y'all don't even abide by. Or y'all don't even live up to, or, whatever. So we're going to keep on going. But yeah, you could be dealing with a case pertaining to the program. Okay, so this is just what we're going to call it, the program. All right. This is also something that people are under judgment for by the spiritual council. But glory to our heavenly team, our spirit guides, our ancestors that are working, y'all. They are working. I know y'all been seeing what's been going on everywhere. And all we can do is just keep giving glory, keep praising, keep enjoying life, keep loving, if that's what you're doing, to certain people that love you. Do you see? Because you could have been already dealt with something, and I was still doing my research, and I had seen that there was a connection to different psychologists. Okay, so there's another judgment that's being played out. Is the psychologists that are in these certain positions that are set up to already be expecting of certain people to come in that are dealing with some type of spiritual warfare or targeting or community harassment or mobbing or stalking. And, they already know this. Some of them are to the point where they are very deceptive, okay, because not only have they been taught how to silently torture or different hypnosis or different skills, some of them have already been in the military, okay? So this is another thing that came out with psychological science, the practice of military science. They're basically their survival skills requires survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. Okay, so something about I don't know how to say it, the SERE program. Okay, learning how to put people back into society that have dealt with some type of psychological trauma. And then you have certain PhDs or different people that are only connected to members and family, okay, and the victims of these different members and family, if it makes sense. Okay, I also got something about Mitchell. I don't know if you know a Mitchell. We're gonna keep on going and see what else they want to know. Okay, I got a period of different tactics. Okay, so somebody could be getting caught up with some type of film that they have. I also was getting that message about certain videos. This is, I like to call them spiritual movies. Yeah, I'm so pumped. I got me a chair. Y'all, I was gifted from the universe. I do. And I'm able to be comfortable. I couldn't sit and just chill out on my reads. It's like I was rushing because my butt was hurt. Okay, so I got a chair now. We can, talk without the gossip. But it was basically see, I got thrown off track. Okay, so it was basically, I said something about the military, then the different tactics. Okay, so using neighbors, different gossip. This is also somebody could have been dealing with a neighbor. So we got something about you had to see it for yourself to actually believe it. So you could be in that phase right now. I don't know if certain people are still, most of us are. I mean, it happens years on end until we actually speak up and speak out against it. Okay, because it was to the point where we literally had to, take signs like, come on now, we know that y'all constantly following and watching. We knew that neighbors would secretly be quiet and listen through the walls, or they would cause some type of conflict noise campaign next door. Okay, so you have telephone redirects, okay? So you could also be dealing with telephone redirects. This goes back to what I was talking about when it came to me getting my cab, okay? Now, who knows if I was actually directed to, the cab company, or it was just somebody that was staging those type of phone calls. But this is also something I was dealing with when I was calling, trying to seek some type of assistance because it was happening so much. Where I was at, where I was located. And I believe most of it was because I was in government housing and I was, moving towards getting out of it, but still, I was starting businesses and stuff, but still, under that type of watch or surveillance. I knew that certain people around me were being placed because I'm pretty sure they wasn't probably paying rent or anything, but I would see them constantly everywhere I go, or when you leave, they leave. It's. But somebody could be actually be dealing with your phone calls be redirected. And it was one day I was actually trying to call. I think I called like the mayor's office. I was even calling the police. And it was like they was redirecting my calls because I've never heard. I was actually calling I was like dialing for the police or whatever, and they was like, "Well, we already have officers there, so we're not gonna send any more officers." But I'm like, the officers you have here, they weren't called by me, but they showed up like 20 deep. They had all these it was just so much harassment that was going on, and it was like there was no help or assistance nowhere. Okay, but it was like whatever plans they failed. They didn't work out the way that people thought they was, and I'm forever grateful for that. Even though I still had to go through the absolute most. But this is like certain calls that you could be making are being redirected somewhere else. And what they do is if you dial a number, it's intercepted, and there's somebody that could pretend to be a service representative or agent or repairman of whoever you call it. So this says infiltrated telephone and businesses. Also receiving different calls or somebody's like, may I speak to, Barbara, and your name is Tiffany or something. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's like dealing with like wrong number calls. Um, and then I had to learn to stop doing that too, because they'll be like, is this Barbara? And I'll be like, nah, this is, you know what I'm saying? And then they'll be like, oh, okay. But it was like, it was to the point where I was literally calling and getting, ID numbers of different people. So when you are making certain phone calls that are important, it's good to get a person's ID number. Also clarified. It's always good too. Most of the time, you'd be like, if I let me speak to a supervisor or something like that. Some of these people get scared, they hang up. This is also another way you'll know if they pretending to be the actual person you calling. And I also too started doing when you calling people, you can be like, they'll say the same thing. They'll be like, this number is recorded for, security purposes. You say the same thing. Get you a recorder. Hey, just to let you know, this phone calls being recorded for security purposes. Okay, this is like us protecting ourselves too. So I don't know if you could have been dealing with these different phone calls being redirected, but yes, this is a part of the program too. Okay, I also have consumer stalking. Okay, so this is another gang stalking variation. Um, Consumer stalking is directed at consumers who either filed a complaint against company in a lawsuit. Okay, and this is one of the reasons, that I could have been going through it too, because, like, yeah, I just be minding my business. Like, I don't really be giving a fuck about what everybody else be having going on. I was dealing with so much war and so much stuff over my head that I didn't, see that me even being with somebody that actually filed a lawsuit against somebody, it was like the person that he filed a lawsuit against, I started seeing them across the street at my neighbor's house. Okay, so somebody could actually be getting some type of consumer stalking simply because you filed a complaint against the company or you filed some type of lawsuit against the company. Okay, this could be why you was placed inside of whatever program this is or the stalking. And it's crazy because I was actually watching a movie, y'all. What's his name? I don't know why I got Booker T. Washington. That is not his name. Damn, the one that plays in Jason's Lyric, the big dude with the messed up eye, whatever. I was watching that movie, right, and he was an insurance agent. But what they was doing, it was, they was stalking people to make sure that they was actually hurt or that they didn't, set people up to get some type of insurance money. So I don't know if you're dealing with that. If somebody's actually being stalked because something happened with some insurance. Okay, but I don't know. It was a good movie. I can't remember what it's called though. But he was literally going around, you know what I'm saying? They was watching people like they was, I don't know. You would have thought that he was the police because he was just the insurance agent, but he was following people. He was looking through their windows. He was doing weird shit, okay? So I don't know if you could be dealing with some type of insurance that you are due from somebody, passing naturally, and somebody actually decided to stalk you or harass you, okay? But you got corporate. So we started with the consumer stalking, which is directed at consumers who either filed a complaint against the company. Then you have corporate, This is involving, different whistleblowers, problems, or a witness to something, or somebody that refuses to do like the company psychologist, which was crazy because I was doing some reads last year, and it was literally picking up on certain corporations that have like, of course we know they have the social security number, birthday, or whatever, but somebody could have been in a corporation where they literally have like your blood type, you know what I'm saying, your routine. They was even asking for like credit reports, certain stuff like that. Like, y'all just got to know where to draw the line. Okay, so somebody could have been dealing with that. Okay, whatever corporation. If you decided to be a whistleblower, if you had problems or something, you was a witness to certain things going on within a company, this could have been another reason why you was in the program. Okay, you have intimate infiltration. Okay, this is basically a lover or a friend, somebody that comes in like, hey, I'm here for you. You know what I'm saying? Or it may be the opposite. If you are one of the people and you are okay with yourself, some people come in like they need you. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, whatever you got to offer, they may seem like, oh, okay, this person's a good person. Let me go in here and see if I can fuck it up by sending somebody in. Okay, so it could have been somebody that's like being stalked by a lover or a friend. Okay, you also have profiling, listening, hacking, going through. Um, Certain people that may have been targeted by certain people listening through your devices, hacking your devices, going through your purse, going through your house, going through items you may have. Also, I don't know why I got your work desk. Okay, so somebody could have seen something at somebody's work desk or on their work computer or something. More than likely, 9 times out of 10, it's always like a spiritualist or somebody is into spirituality, because you know that this is a spiritual tactic to keep you, from staying focused or doing what you need to do. Then you have random encounters. Okay, somebody could be dealing with, when you go out, you may run into a person and they have small talk. Okay, nothing is by chance or coincidence, more than likely. Um, I always say, if it's not like a divine encounter and through your spirit that something is supposed to, like, don't talk to me. Okay, some people just want to come in contact with you to, see what you're doing, what you're eating, peeking in your cart, seeing what kind of foods do you eat, so they can try to tamper with that, or they trying to see where you're going, what's your routine, what kind of gas you putting in your car, you know what I'm saying, how many farts you take a day, certain stuff like that, like just weird shit. So you got ruined relationships, cheating or leaving you. A lot of people could be dealing with their relationship like falling completely apart if they dealt with being in some type of program or being stalked or harassed. It takes a toll on people, if two people are not, you know, aware mentally of what they could be dealing with, or spiritually what they could be dealing with, because it is a spiritual factor. Then you'll know that it could cause a lot of divide within households. Okay, so you have isolation. A lot of people want there to be no support system. Okay, this is also too like fake files, people following you to make sure that you are isolated or not speaking to other people, also creating like fake documents. I had told y'all one of the documents that was sent around on me was that the FBI was at my house because I was holding my son hostage and all this, like the things that they do, y'all. we 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 don't want to understand them. We want to give it to God and let God, get all the glory on what is really popping off out here. But this is literally, somebody could have no support system right now, but you don't understand. There could have been some files that was created on you, sent around, whether it was actual stories or things that was created. Okay, we know that this is what they're doing. So let's see. I'm trying to like talk slow, y'all, but I know I want to get out some more reads, but I had to get this one out because not only have I dealt with the brood of it, I know what it could cause within certain places, homes, but I know a lot of people have been dealing with this for, like I said, 20, 30, 40 years, and it's to the point where you're like, well, when does it end? But it really doesn't until it is. Do you see what I'm saying? Until everyone's like all on the same page and you're starting to see like the world's changing. They talking about whistleblowing. I think Mother Earth done blew the whistle several times, so they won't keep going. It's on them. Okay, so we also got like, it came back out again. So like I said, somebody could actually have a lover target. Whoever you're in a relationship. This also goes back to, like I said, I hate the word twin flame, because who would have thought that you just being with somebody, You know what I'm saying? If you with somebody, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, what, you know, those are the names that I've stuck with. But, you know, once you get into, you know, spiritual way of looking at things, you'll start to hear twin flame, soulmates, who knows, okay? But somebody was in your life for years before and you didn't know, okay? This is basically somebody knew you for years and waited for the right time to basically come in as an intimate infiltration. Okay, this person could have formed a relationship to get info on you. This is also certain people that do like in bed spies. You know what I'm saying? What I tell you, they take the picture. You know, as soon as you sleep and shit with your mouth open, y'all might have just did do. This person want to make sure that he take a picture of, you know, hey, the bitch is asleep. I just popped her and I just want to show the world or something. You know what I'm saying? Wherever, we don't know where these actual pictures go, but these are the ones that want to do like the you know, they want to take pictures of stuff that's within your home, take pictures of you, maybe after y'all just got intimate. But these are like in bed spies, okay? These are the certain people that was paid to be with you, okay? Yes, this is how sick and savage this shit goes. So somebody could have actually got paid to be with somebody to do a spiritual spouse spying. This is also a way that they keep certain people from being together, because if it's somebody that's in the way that's wrong, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucker, move out the way. It's supposed to be somebody that's right in that place. What some people call, you know, spiritual spouses or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, I don't get into it. The person's either good for you or not. Okay, but there's also a friend of a spouse here. This person wants to seek certain steps that you do. So say that you have a routine, okay? Especially if you are into like, you know what I'm saying, your spiritual health. This person wants to constantly always report on what you're doing, the ideas that you have, the certain business propositions or the certain, you know, business blueprints. They want to get footage, audio of you. If you fighting different addictions, whether it's sex, drugs, alcohol, certain things, and you are changing your life, this person will come in, you know, just to make sure that you still have a problem with different addictions. Okay, so once again, only take what goes. But these are these in-bed spies. These are certain people that, you know, they was targeted to be a lover of you, but they was paid to do it, okay? To get certain audio footage, steal certain ideas, business ideas, report on you, keep you in a fear stagnated state. Also reading like your journals, your diaries, okay? So they can report back what you're writing on, how you feeling that day, when you feeling it, when you take a shit, what it smell like, what you ate to take it. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of weird ass shit that these people be on. So we're going to keep on going. So somebody could be dealing with an in-bed spy. You're not knowing the person that you are with or was with was paid to, you know, to come in like a random encounter. Hey, you know what I'm saying? You look good. Woo, woo, woo. But this person could be a psycho agent, okay? They want you to feel some type of way. This is also like profiling. You know, staying connected to keep some type of listening or hacking device on your stuff. This is also somebody too that wants to like, you know, have certain people go through stuff and they like, man, fuck this love shit. You know what I'm saying? This is what it's set up to do. Make you not be into no love. It's just like a lot of women I've seen too, they own that too. It's like, love, we supposed to be loving ourselves, our children. You know, you starting to see some of these masculines come in, and it's both ways, masculine or feminine, so take it how it goes, fellas. But some of these ruined relationships are only because the person that you ran into and had small talk with was a plant. Okay, they was a fucking agent. This person only wants to target your heart chakra and, you know, keep you stagnant when it comes to your relationship with God. Okay, this is somebody, you know, fold my clothes, cook me dinner, you know, stroke my dick, stroke my ego, do all this. But do you have time to actually be intimate with your Heavenly Father, your spiritual team? Okay, it's just what it is. So let's see. Once again, the program. Number harassments, okay? I told y'all my numbers harassments are 10. Like most of my court cases was always equaling up to the number 10. I don't know, it's a big number in my life. So you could have a number that's within your life that you constantly see, or, you know, when certain things happen to you, they'll happen on these same dates or around the same time, okay? So you got using numbers for harassments, driving past at certain times. You could see people coming, you know what I'm saying? I know that when I started my my journey, my main time to actually do my devotion, I can say it now because I don't care, it's gonna pop up anyway, was 10 to 2. Okay, my office hours 10 to 2. 10 to 2, I knew that I was going to devote that time to the Holy Spirit, or to be in spirit, or to connect, or to meditate, or to read, or devote. You see, be in devotion. Well, this will be the time where somebody, they'll blast their music, or they'll rap past, or they'll honk horns, or they'll do certain things like this to keep you from actually, being focused within that time. This is why it's always good to switch it up. Okay, so you have use of numbers for harassment, driving past your house at certain times, neighbors entering or exiting at certain times, task. So this is also like, say you connected to the number 8. Okay, somebody will arrive at 8 o'clock. Okay, someone will leave at 8 o'clock. You have like different radio codes. It's like certain of these people really believe that they police. And ain't that funny? Because I'm telling you, in the hood, it's like a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? It's like, they be on that snitches get stitches shit and all that. But these people really be police. Like, some of these people really be feeling like they are the police. They like blood suckers. It's weird. It's like they energy vamp, and they want to be, so hard and so street, but they call the police. Like, this is just what they do. They play police games. Some of them are already connected. They have certain friendships. If they're not actually sleeping with some of them, somebody could actually, still be a cop hitter. They sleeping with the police. They know certain police officers that are into certain stuff like this. Okay, so you have the reason for number harassment is for certain people to be sensitized to certain numbers. So it means, you can look at the clock, or you watching the calendar. You're not basically focusing on what you need to do spiritually for your spiritual health, because there's going to be some foolery going on at this certain time. Okay, this is also too certain calls or texts that you'll get. It'll be at the time. So like I said, if you like the number 8, it may be, a jerk ass nigga with the good morning text. He knows at 8 o'clock he'll text you. GM, do you see what I'm saying? Good morning. Okay, this is certain things that people do. So you got date and time stamps. One of the things that was helping me, when I was going through the brood of it, not knowing what I was going through, but I knew that I was being prepared for it, is keeping a journal. Okay, writing down. I would even write down when I would hear like honking or door slamming, or when I would get a certain phone call from a certain person, who that person is, what they talking about. You see what I'm saying? Because that was another thing. It was like when I started speaking out, I might get a phone call from a family member, and this person really don't want nothing, but they know, what I'm saying, they have to find a way to connect to my device or look into what I'm talking about. Or, they trying to figure out, well, why the nigga that's over there ain't keeping you, stagnant or distracted. Okay, so start writing down certain things that you are experiencing, what time, what you're hearing, what you're feeling. Okay, so the program. Okay, somebody could actually have box braids that's dealing with a health crisis. Okay, some of these people are into like insurance scams, selling, coding, different coding. They into like the medical field. This is how some of them like playing with your medical records, or connecting with these different insurance agents here. Also connecting to people that are into like coding, hacking devices, going through your shit. Okay, know that it's mental. Your all is mind. Okay, they know how powerful the mind is. So you got mystic psychology. The universe is mental. Okay, controlling the grosser physical conditions, elements of nature. And this is what a lot of them don't want. Okay, because if you are somewhere and they know that they use these certain type of powers, these tactics in the spiritual realm, by keeping you in some form of isolation, by using mind games, but you're too strong for that, then they go ante up some shit. They're gonna try to use fake evidence, fake news, different people to put in the footwork. Okay, they're gonna hire more people. So you have the perps of that gal. They'll hire more people, different neighbors, private security firms. So somebody is, being watched by an investigator. They use certain people that are into like psychology, neuroscience. Like I said, they do the neuro monitoring. I don't know if a lot of people have been dealing with the weaponized technology that they using. Even if they do with me, they know I don't give a fuck. So you got medical professions and neighborhood watch. I think we all over that. Like, if it's really a neighborhood watch, why the fuck is people breaking into people's stuff? Why are certain things happening? You know what I'm saying? Like, who's watching me? Who is watching in the neighborhood? If certain things are happening, whether it's violence or theft, robberies and shit, like, who really? Come on now, y'all. Quit playing. Okay, so you have whatever they did, they try to form it in secret, okay? And I think this is why a lot of people was in their head, like, prideful, I am God, because once again, they narcissists. They do things cowardly in the dark to bully people, okay? They want to be handlers and controllers of certain people's destinies, but they feel like since they are backed by, certain officials or people that's in like a higher rank of something, they feel like they couldn't be touched, okay? But, they get in touch. So you got Operation Spirit Alone. Okay, maybe you was inside the program so you can connect to your spirit. Okay, get close to God. Know who God is, what God wants out of you, doing your life purpose, being intimate within that relationship, because you'll see that we are dealing with microwave brains. Okay, so you also got maybe you switching up using a microwave. I don't know if you into metals, but this that came out. Certain people could be dealing with, everybody's skin's different, blood's different, times, energies, whatever. All of it's different. But you could be one of them people that may need to not wear so much metal. Okay, as far as like earrings, blue jeans, because something about RF weapons or something burning your skin. So I don't know if you've been dealing with actually these type of energy weapons. Okay. So you have cursed be he that attacks his neighbor secretly, and all the people shall say amen. Deuteronomy 27:24. And you see, it's funny because it's like you'll be surprised and shocked. Okay, this is the same type of people. Hey, you got some sugar? Of course I got some sugar. What do you got, the Kool-Aid? You good? You need the Kool-Aid too? You see what I'm saying? A lot of people are okay with living their life, um, rebuilding or being positive in their own situations, teaching their children how to love and have compassion for other people. And then some people just want a reason to kind of like counteract against that or something. I don't know, because you would be surprised how many people will secretly come against you, but then you will pray against the enemy, and then you'll see people in your neighborhood falling, or you'll see people around you that have secretly prayed against you lose shit. And I have did it over and over again, where I'm like, just constantly keep me protected. I don't sit all day waiting for something bad to happen to somebody, even if they have done it to me or mine. Do you see? But I know that God's going to handle it. So it's best for people to just, leave people alone. But you do have Deuteronomy 27:24. Cursed be he that attacks his neighbor secretly, and all the people shall say amen. So it's not saying 2 or 3 people on the block. This is saying, and all the people shall say amen, meaning that all the people are going to have to abide by not secretly attacking their neighbor. And then you cursing yourself by secretly doing it. Ain't that crazy? It's like what it's like. I'm telling you what you can send out. So you have G5. Okay, I need to figure out. I need to reference these too, because like I said, this is basically the information that I received when I was doing my deck. I don't know why Cyborg is out here. It could be an actual man machine or somebody that just does not have any emotions. Do you see what I'm saying? This could be this love or a friend is a damn cyborg. He just does not have any feelings or emotions. His whole goal is to ruin relationships, ruin your spirituality, ruin connections with friends, family. It's just what it is. Okay, some people, they have put themselves in their own hell. Okay, so you have designed to incapacitate, neutralize, eliminate, and or control and criminalize dissenters, whistleblower, truth tellers, and enemies of the state. So this is how they really consider people that don't want to join their level of game or torture, assisting torturing other people, or seeking some type of spiritual help and being on their life path. They look at people like enemy of the state. And I had pulled it several times because that's what the dude did. And I know a lot of us have went through it. Like when I said when I first left, my debit card was locked, like it wasn't working. Anytime I went to go slide it, I had money on it. But of course they want you to look crazy because people are just so evil and just twisted. Like every store I was going to, it was like, the card was not working. And all I was trying to get was groceries for the week. But my card would not work. It was so weird, y'all. It was like, what the fuck? And, by God's grace and mercy, it was a woman actually one day. She just opened up her heart and she paid for all my groceries. And she was just like, don't worry about it. And I'm like, how often does that really happen? But this is how we're supposed to be for our neighbor. If you see something and you are led to do it, then you do it. Just like I said, we have the ability to cast out demons. Why is nobody doing it? It's like, do y'all want to be friends with them? But it was like, literally no support system. As soon as you try to make them moves, certain things will be placed against you. Whether your credit card's not working, and I swear when I got out, I literally, my food stamp card was gone. Like, I don't know how it could be, taken out of my belongings at jail, but it wasn't in there. I had to get a new social security card, which was taken like forever for certain stuff like that, like things that you need if you want to, go to work or do. It's why it's always good to work for God. But it was like things that I needed to do daily activities or go to work or do things like that. All of that stuff was secretly taken or blocked. It was like it was just so strange. They knew I needed it to work, but I couldn't get it. It was like it was so many runarounds. The office was always closed. I needed to send in an ID, and I'm like, I don't have that. I'm getting everything all over again. But it was always something being open for me. Just like I was able to get a job because I didn't. The place that I was working at, they had already had my information in the system, and they was willing to work with me until I actually got proof of me being an American. Ain't that a bitch? But it's just like those certain things will be said against you. And you remember, and that's how it was in the movie. Dude, they wiped his account clean. They turned all his family and friends against him. They was following him, trying to make him look crazy, trying to play stuff on him. It's just crazy. So you got TIs are used as disposable, non-consensual human experiments. Who told y'all this? Who signed us up for this? We did not say that we wanted to be tested against. So it says, in the testing and deployment of a host of electronic weapons that remotely torture, impair, alter, enslave, and or kill humans. Y'all are under judgment. I want to really, really try to wrap my mind around somebody that will sit there and come up with such an evil, diabolical plan against people that really just, want to find their way in life. And to think about all those that have already experienced this level, I see it all the time. It's crazy. It's what some platforms are being used for, is to make sure that people see the type of torture that, others have placed on them. Whether people are dealing with like scarring, tissue damage, or, of course it's going to be some type of mental damage, or, yeah. There needs to be compensation for this. But you got remote neural monitoring again, manipulation, brain to computer, and brain to brain interference. Okay. And it's crazy because it has some people are probably thinking, you'll be thinking about something and you'll see it pop up and be like, well, what the is this? I didn't consent or agree to certain things that have been done to me. I didn't do that. And it's against spiritual law. That's why you have the spiritual council. Okay, so you have street theater. This is also part of the program. Okay. I think one of the this is one of the older ones I dealt with, was a neighbor pretended to beat children under me, and it got me so riled up. But it was weird because like after it, I didn't even see her children. It was like they wasn't her children. It was like, yeah, when I tell you how far they go, it was like whoever this person is didn't even have children, but there was children that came over. Now I don't know if like the children was actually, promised McDonald's or something to pretend to cry or scream. But these certain things that happen to where, you'll feel some type of way or you'll get involved. They want to see how you react to certain situations. Another one was here recently. One of my neighbors actually had their house broken into, and the guy was outside, and they were screaming outside. And of course, I went out because I'm like, you're on the block with the bullshit. Get out, get off the block. But it's just certain things that have happened where certain people have already blurred the lines to reality. They are like actors and actresses. Okay, they do unusual shit because they know that somebody's watching nearby. They looking for weaknesses. So say that something's happening to a child. If they see you react, they're gonna know that you have a weakness of, protecting children, or you want to, make sure your neighborhood's straight when it comes to you and children, or say that somebody's getting smacked. And this actually happened one day. It's crazy. It was like years ago. I was coming from the club, me and the dude I used to be with, and there was this lady. She was just getting beat. Like it was like 3 in the morning, and there wasn't no cars around. But it was this guy. He was just beating this lady, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, pull over. And he was like, well, what the fuck are you gonna do? And I'm like, well, you know what I'm saying, help or something. But these certain things that happen for you to be riled up and it be emotional because they want to see, you know what I'm saying? Are you gonna be somebody that cares if somebody is getting beat on the side of the road? Are you gonna care if you see a child getting mistreated? Are you gonna care if you see this is like you see somebody that's homeless? Are you gonna care to, feed your brother or your sister? This is what they want to see, what you would do, so they can either recruit you or do this stuff against you. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is where street theater comes in, where they blur the lines of reality by using people to put on these certain shows to see how you will react. Are you still emotionally connected to human beings? Do you have a soul? Okay, so you have similar woes. They want to see if you have the same woes as people. They want to see if you are in this whole constant state of, hey, I have to be on time and in time, because if something happens, they want to see, are you going to be stressed the fuck out because you was late to an interview because somebody, pretended to, have an issue, knowing that you had somewhere to go. This is like on time support. Hey, I gotta constantly always be at work on time. I'm gonna be stressed out if I'm late. So if somebody wants to take extra time in the store ahead of you because they know that you have an issue with being late. Okay. Calling during madness. So when certain things will come, when you going through, you could be fighting with your dude, or your kids could be getting on your nerves, or you going through something. Who's calling you? Are they calling you with something positive or uplifting or some type of support? Or if they calling you like, I knew your ass was gonna be going through this today. Yeah, bitch, you did. So you came to call me with some gossip and some news I don't want to hear. Okay, so you have somebody who is like, it's almost like trying to see if you always in the emotional distress. Are you dumb to emotional distress? Okay, this is also involving color harassment. So this color harassment causes you to believe that everyone you see with a certain color is a harasser. Okay, some people have dealt with the blues, reds, whites. This is like constantly seeing a white vehicle and like, oh, they gang stalking. Okay, now everybody is a gang stalker. Not everybody is involved. Some people are still sleep to it. Okay, but this is why certain people use certain colors, because they want you to associate and attach this form of harassment to everybody that could be wearing blue or wearing red or driving in a red car. You have neighbor fights. That's crazy. I got neighbor fights and child discipline. So once again, this is like trying to blur the lines of reality. Are you sitting somewhere and you hear your neighbors going off and you start to secretly listen, or you get worked up because some of this stuff is just street theater. It is not real. This is just to test how you are emotionally stable, or how you will react, or if certain things can go on around you without you, getting too much involved in it. Okay, I think this guy was giving me a headache. So let's see. Let the church say amen. Okay, so we have petty disrespecting, game stalking facts. Okay, so thank you. This is the McKinney report. Okay, this is where most of these facts is coming from. They already got it, CIA, FBI, whatever, who knows. Something came up about bad actors, so you could once again be dealing with people where you're starting to see it now. If it's whether how they appear or what they're doing, you starting to look at it and be like, something ain't right. Okay, because some of these people are starting to have like microwave brain, literally. They glitching out, they going dead, they need to charge up because some of them really just ain't got the spirit in them. Okay, so you have petty disrespecting. FBI Title 18 USC Section 241, Conspiracy Against Rights. This statute makes it unlawful for two or more persons to conspire to injure, oppress, threaten, or intimidate any person of any state, territory, or district in the free exercise or enjoyment of any right or privilege secured to him or her by the Constitution of the laws of the U.S. It further makes it unlawful for two or more persons to go in disguise on the highway or in the premises of another with intent to prevent or hinder his or her free exercise or enjoyment of any rights so secured. Punishment varies from fine to imprisonment of up to 10 years, or both if death results, or kidnapping, aggravated sexual abuse, or attempt to kill shall be fined under title for terms life or death. So some of these people don't realize like what really comes with being involved in the program. Okay, whether they were secret lovers, secret love. They wasn't loving though. Ain't no love. It ain't no love out here. Okay, so somebody was like secretly doing this, not knowing that they can get up to 10 years. And you know, sad to say, we have seen a lot of this stuff result in the death of others, or you know, this also connects to certain suicides or people that are misdiagnosed and placed into homes. Those that you know give up. These people got to be punished, and to me, 10 years ain't enough. When you have literally took it upon yourself to place this type of trauma on certain people, simply because, you know, I don't know, y'all. I don't even know why I keep turning my computer on. Yeah, but the punishment coming to some of these people, I think they was more so worried about the physical, but think about the spiritual punishment that some of them got. Like I said, we have spiritual counsel out here. So these are the petty disrespecting civilian spies. These are employees too. They're into like extremist cults and stuff. Certain people that may work at a job that you work at or feel like they are, you know, in a better position and they deserve more than you do, or some of them, you know, they could just simply be as simple-minded as being jealous or envious of what anointing or calling that you have over your life. You have corrupt, ignorant doctors, those that have been involved with also staging like different accidents. Okay, if they want to secretly, you know, hurry up and stop in front of you so you can crash into them, or they want to wait until, you know, they done did the most, try to side swipe or run you off the road. Different stuff that they've done is, you know, that judgment's already called on the land. So you have poisonings, um, electronic harassments, sensitizing lies and rumors. Okay, so it's basically like stroking somebody enough to be like, hey, you know, this person is a bad person. I think you should join me in doing, you know, the most against this person. You have invasions. Okay, so this was like breaking in. Crime, whistleblower cults. It's a lot of people that's like against different relationships. Okay, so you got revenge. This could actually be revenge that somebody, you know, is seeking upon you, simply because maybe you have done something to this person, and you know, you may not have apologized. A lot of us have done things, you know, none of us are really perfect, but it's like we have done things. You may have chosen to forgive that person and forgive yourself, but this person may not have done that. Okay. So you have real or imagined, or this could be imagined revenge. Simply, this person don't like you. They want to take something out on you. That's just what it is. Also, no support, never ending monitoring, being flagged, everyone contacted in your contact list, different people you work for, different friends, family, trying to destroy reputations, want you to be viewed as mentally ill, don't want you knowing too much, also trying to silence different victims, drive them insane to possible suicide. This is petty disrespecting, a part of the program, okay? it's like you're not crazy, okay? You start to educate yourself on certain things, you will see. Like I said, FBI Title 18, USC Section 241, conspiracy against rights. Okay, so a lot of people is trying to see that the crime mob, knuck if you buck shit ain't gonna work. So it could be a group that together they gonna go down for doing this type of crime. Okay, like I said, you have different photo albums, video footage. You could actually be seeing certain visions about certain issues that you experienced with certain people, and you like, oh, so that's what your ass was on. Okay, whatever they was doing secretly is being revealed. So you have rapture, wrapping consciousness, reprogramming your internal model, digging deep within, and you will be guided on what's going on outside of you. Okay, so this is also knowing too what's going on the outside of you. You have to go within. A lot of us, when it comes to spiritual counsels, you could be a spiritual counselor, or some of these people feel like because they board members or members of different councils, groups, or whatever, that they're not gonna have to deal with things. But if you are spiritually connected, you're gonna be shown what it is you need to see about what's been going on outside of you, your home, your neighborhood, with some neighbors, who's listening, who's hacking, who's going through your purse and stuff when you leave. So yeah, somebody's going through somebody's belongings. And this is another thing that I realized, when I started, I don't know why I sound like I'm congested. Somebody could be congested right now. But when I started realizing like how far it goes, I was doing my studying on witchcraft and the use of witchcraft within human trafficking, okay? Because a lot of us too are victims of that. I am a victim of it. I don't feel like that, I'm not looking for any type of anything from anybody. I'm just willing to accept my own story and what I've been dealing with and how I've been getting through it by the grace of God. But it's like some of you will start to see who's been really using witchcraft, who's been cheating you out of certain things, who's actually working against you, using some type of fake information that they received from somebody that could have been a family member or somebody that was connected to certain companies or groups. You also have hospital bed confessions. Okay, so somebody could be confessing while they sick or on their hospital bed on what they've been doing against somebody spiritually within the program. So you have this individual is handicapped. Somebody could be handicapped, but they come in face to face with the conspiracy. So this is FBI Director 50 years ago, J. Edgar Hoover. The individual is handicapped by coming face to face with the conspiracy so monstrous he cannot believe it exists. Okay, once again, the individual is handicapped by coming face to face with the conspiracy so monstrous he cannot believe it exists. And if you have experienced this and you try to, tell somebody, they'd be like, what the fuck is this bitch on? Something's really wrong. You know what I'm saying? But people are starting to speak out against this. Some people are starting to talk about it. And they starting to see. Okay, so this weapon did come out. Like I said, I don't know, I don't even know the brute of how much I've dealt with it, but RF induced voices and hallucinations are out here. Okay, so this is like, this is why it's good to have your spiritual connection. Get close to your higher self as much as possible. Okay, because this goes further back into the spiritual warfare. So this is like devious technology. It could also be used like on entire crowds or stadium packed events, different events, watching the events you go to. Like I said, I was picking up on the concerts, festivals, rituals, whatever, all this stuff. Okay, so you have effectiveness lost when you know that these certain type of satellites, these certain technologies, these certain tactics, what they're using against you, this shit won't work. Okay, it may work, but it's not going to work to the extent of how it's been working. Okay, because the whole goal is for certain people to be prompted to have some type of psychotic behavior, to be hospitalized and to be medicated. Okay, not necessarily standing in your spiritual strength, your own personal power. And like I said, this is what they don't want. So you have this psychologist come back out again. Also drinking, okay? So you could be impaired by if you're drinking. Sometimes it's best to not drink. I know some of us, we like to, some of us like to enjoy ourselves. So if you are doing that, try not to drink as much as maybe you usually do, okay? Because some people are going to be ignorant and they're not going to believe in certain type of things because they already intoxicated. Some people be like, oh, I don't drink, I don't smoke. Yes, but you still ignorant. So that is still some form of intoxication. You are intoxicated by ignorance. Okay, so people kill me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you perfect. But you don't know the truth, don't want the truth, ain't accept the truth, truth ain't in you, truth don't live down the street. So you have hand gestures and signaling. Okay, some of us have already, you'll see the people that working on the street and shit. I always notice that. You have to realize the power that you have, the spiritual authority, power of your blessing of you just being present in certain areas. You may see certain things being rebuilt, you know, some things thriving, but what you have to also know is things are not going to thrive and survive if you are being constantly targeted. This is what some people believe. Okay, we have a new thing. Let's go ahead. We're going to build this. We're going to build that. But some of that stuff is not going to work if you are going against somebody that God has placed within that area to bless the land, heal the land, or speak truth over the land. You see what I'm saying? It's like you moving somewhere and then all of a sudden you seeing houses being built around you. Some people feel like, hey, those are perks to, energy harvest or steal something from you and they're going to make it because of that. But that's not going to work. That stuff will go down. Okay. So you have certain things like doing hand gestures, signals, tapping nose, different things, stroking their hair. It's like certain times when you go past somebody, if you're doing something, you'll see certain signals. Okay. Once again, this is you having discernment and knowing, being connected to your spiritual power placement, your spiritual counsel, your higher self, Most High God, first and foremost. Because not everything, and not every time you see somebody, pull their drawers at their ass or they really giving hand gestures and signaling, but you'd be surprised. So you have residential care fraud. I don't know why this came out, but this is what I'm going to talk about it. Okay, some people could have actually been targeted due to whether you had somebody that was in residential care or somebody wants to get you in residential care. Do you see what I'm saying? Because if you're in residential care, most likely somebody else is enjoying the fruits of your labor. Okay, so this is like somebody could be getting caught up for this insurance. Once again, you got fake nurse out here, different invoices, hospice, overcharging, insurance, Medicaid building, neglecting certain people in order to get a check. Okay, so somebody could be getting found out about intentionally neglecting somebody to get a check. And what was it? It was so long ago, y'all, but I was actually pulling on. I wasn't pulling. I think I was just, in spirit meditating or whatever. And I had got the message where something's supposed to happen where if somebody is like taking care of somebody inside of their home, it's a certain, like, not Zoom, but it's like um, it's an online meeting that certain people are supposed to be having with certain people that are like bedridden or hospitalized, or they dealing with like hospice within their home. But to me, it came up like they haven't been doing it. Like somebody's supposed to be checking on somebody regularly, um, whether it's online or overline. But this has been a part of neglecting to get a check. Okay, um, something about billing errors, elder meal tickets, using the elderly for meal tickets. And I have actually dealt with this. You know, my aunt went into residential care and she didn't have a TV, blankets, anything. And, I ended up witnessing it at the end of everything. But it's like they literally, you know, as far as that it could go, they wanted her to die. It was literally, and she, she served in the military. She was in Guam. She was actually a mortician, very smart woman, and she ended up going through some type of spiritual warfare. And instead of the family actually helping her, they just put her in this resident care. But the resident place that she went in, they was literally just, they wouldn't wipe her. So she ended up dealing with UTIs or whatever, and she would just scream and cry, and they would just, cuss her out or give her some medicine, keep her drugged up. And she ended up succumbing to everything that she dealt with in there. But I ended up going in there, and she didn't have a blanket. She wasn't being washed. She wasn't being cleaned. Her mouth was so dry from where she was so dehydrated that her lips looked like concrete roads. So, you know, if you do have people, which I don't believe in it, I always said I was gonna be one of the people, you know, whether I got it if I don't, man, I'm not putting my peoples in no fucking home, man. Because the way that they treat certain people, for one, especially if they know your bloodline or your background, it's always been about money, and hopefully all this stuff is changing. So if you do have somebody that's in a home, you know, start checking on them. You know, start checking on them if you love them. But whatever. So we have something about using wood and copper for your safety. Okay, if it something about wood's more common. You have old cash, bloodwood, healing, fertility, positive energy. Um, and this is for your spirituality, okay? So this is like the metals, okay? You know, like especially if you've been in jail or something, you know everything's metal. If you've been in government housing, most of it is, you know, concrete or steel, or it's always something that's not good for the human body. Like they didn't even have carpet in the place that I was at, but it's like some of these things that could be very harmful to the human body, which breaks down. It breaks you down physically, okay? And if you fighting all of this stuff spiritually and mentally, you know, physically they come for the body, okay? So it's just telling you something about your iron, different iron levels. What is this? Your liver, your muscles, your bones, okay? So let's go back to like drinking, you know, especially drinking if you're on medication. I don't know why it came up. So you got it takes a village. Okay, so somebody, you do have a mother and father card out here. So somebody's mother or father could have actually been involved in whatever this is. Whether they put you in a program or they was in it themselves, they chose to join whatever it is. You have whatever this is. You may not have, you may 17 or younger, you may not have received some type of love, support, steadfastness, resources. Okay, this is also too like a teenage pregnancy, or different people that were pregnant and, you know, they was anxious for something. So of course, you know, signing the birth certificate, or not receiving your child's placenta, or, you know, not having a home birth, or not taking epidurals, different things that we did not learn due to society and has always been the same programming. Maybe that's changing. Also being like, you know, more so convinced by the media or something. Something's coming up about that. I don't know. And, you know, some type of economic and social conflict. So this could be like a generational bruise that somebody has. Like this could have been a generation of the program or stalking or whatever. And it's, instead of some people, you know, getting away from it, maybe they chose to join it. Who knows? Yeah, so you have another mobbing, noise harassment. Okay, so you have different people that, you know, may have dressed like you dress, talk how you talk, take your trash out when you take your trash out, leave when you leave, flush the toilet when you flush the toilet. And it's not funny, it's just so irritating. But just to be able to understand, like some of this stuff is called mobbing, noise harassment. Different loud vehicles, mufflers coming past, you know, some beep beep, you know, different stuff like that we consider confirmations on certain things. Doors slamming, people just fucking working on shit in their basement at like 2, 3 in the morning all night. They know that you have had some type of, you know, spiritual unrest all day. So when you go to sleep or have some type of rest to your body and your soul, this person could be hammering on things in their workshop. Okay, somebody could be dealing with that. They could also have the stereo playing real loud, stomping through. Especially if you live like underneath somebody could be stumping through. Also loud coughing, extra coughing. The one that gets me is, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you smoking and why? Stop. Okay, somebody could just be coughing just to have, you know, the loud coughing over you. Then you have water running, like power tools, drilling again came up. So you have bugging, electronic monitoring, phone and computer taps, remote neural monitoring, number harassment. I wrote all of it down again. Okay, so this is once again some of the stuff: mobbing, noise harassment. Okay, and it's crazy because I had seen it on TikTok one time because I was on there and then I got off because a lot of things I choose not to let into my consciousness because, you know, I try to work with my gifts and not against them by, you know, watching everything or allowing anything around me. It's just, it don't make sense. But it's like, I had seen something about this young black chick or whatever, and she was talking about, the seriousness of how some of us have been dealing with the fake laughter in the black community, because that's one thing that used to just get me. Those that just laugh obnoxiously, knowing that they're going through some type of pain, but this is also like a noise harassment or a trigger, okay? Because it ain't nothing funny about somebody going through some type of trauma, but some of these people will do this. It's almost like if they under pressure or they anxious or they see you seeing through some bullshit, they'll just, or something like that. I don't know. So you have false reasoning, certain things. Yeah, dealt with this too. Slash tires, threatening phone calls, verbal assaults by strangers, property damage, death threats, following, whether it's foot or vehicle, bizarre notes or drawings left on your property or on things, loitering, anonymous false accusations, friends, family, neighbors, character assassination, a character assassination, smear campaign, blacklisting, and psychological abuse. Okay, this is another part of the harassment. I think I've been through damn near all of this. I don't know if you could have been dealing with somebody that was like messing with your car. Maybe like it's happened certain times where maybe somebody will put something in the parking lot knowing that you got to ride through it, okay? Calling and threatening you for no apparent reason. They just know that you seeing through the bullshit. Different strangers that could be mad at you for nothing, like, calling you niggers or out your name or something, damaging your property. So we got on the back. Baiting. These are one of the things that I did not want this to be as long, but it has to happen. Baiting you to trick you to do a crime. Okay, so say somebody calling you, which was one of my issues. Somebody called me, they got something cracking and something's up, and I gotta protect or do what I'm saying, show up. I'm coming. It's like a instant halt on what you doing for your life or your children or whatever. But it's like, this is my people's, I'm coming. Somebody could literally be trying to bait you to come somewhere to trick you into doing a crime, okay? So they could be just like, I had a problem with this person. It could be a whole lie, but they want you to show up and be ready to show out just because they know your ass is going to be the one to end up getting locked up, okay? So just watch this baiting. You have brightening, different flashing lights. If you ride past people, some people, I don't know, I always consider like the only time you flash a light is if I don't have my lights on and you're trying to tell me my lights are not on. But some people could be dealing with the flashing lights, okay? You have car accidents. These are just basically a real quick cutoff, fatal. So these car accidents came out again. This was a part of the program. Somebody that actually dealt with that, it might not have actually been, the witchcraft or something like that, but this is a part of witchery. If you're doing something in the program, that means you trying to play God and you falsely creating narratives and you running around trying to, change somebody's course of their life or their path. That is still witchcraft. So you have anchoring, false reasoning, fear of normality, mobbing, crowding, color harassment, tailgating. Somebody could be, constantly passing home, cyber stalking, fake credibility, directed conversation. This is also too when you walking past somebody, they may be speaking on something you just spoke about to, a loved one or something 2 hours ago, but they want to, bait you with a conversation. So you have corporations, government organizations, military, some police, corrupt cops, societies, fraternities, orders, religious cults, destructive new age groups, concerned community, vigilante groups, criminal organizations, and voluntary police. These are where some of these mobsters or these perps could be coming from. Okay? And it's crazy because if you literally get stalked by church members, like, what are y'all doing? They've been doing this all wrong. All wrong. I don't know why I got Cheyenne, Greenwood, Colorado, Wyoming, something about a trampoline. Somebody could actually be dealing with like chronic fatigue. Okay, so this has declining in physical, muscular, and neurological functions as well as some cancers. Damage to lung, brain, musculoskeletal structure, major organs like your kidneys, liver, blood, metabolic system, and gastrointestinal tract. Okay, so this is heavy metals. I don't know, I got something about gold metal flyer, but somebody could be dealing with like heavy metals. There could be somebody needs to like do like a toxic flush a colon cleanse, a liver cleanse. What was it that I got? I just got some recently, y'all. Some herbs. Yeah, so somebody may need to do like a colon cleanse or herb. What is it? I don't know. I don't think it was the one. So you have aloe vera, slippery M, senna, and licorice root. These are only the first 4 that I'm reading, but I actually did. You can print you up a paper. You guys start getting some of these herbs, getting them in your body. Fasting, of course, getting some stuff out of your body, because some of the stuff that we've been dealing with, you could have been declining physically because they want us to be declined, neurologically. If your brain's not healthy, if your brain's entrapped and stuff, it's easy for the body to follow. And what's unfortunate is like the reasoning for some of this stuff that has been going on. It most definitely couldn't be in for no European currency, okay? But this is what it's been for. So you have stepping on attack. Somebody's getting caught up stepping on attack, following you everywhere to gather information, where you shop, where you work, where you play, who your family and friends are, moving close to you, different neighbors, restaurants, stores, directed conversations, standing too close, laughing, crying, coughing and shit, trivial conversations. This is also, trying to talk to you about see what kind of answers you'll give. Hey, you from here? Well, how long you been here? How many kids you got? I'm so tired of that same shit. Please leave me the fuck alone. Don't ask me. Please, don't ask me nothing. Okay? Especially if you come in trying to curse your neighbor in secret. So you had to see it for yourself again. Illegal targeted citizens. So this is basically, ITCs. Some of them say targeted individuals. Somebody say, what is it? Yeah, they basically say take TI. So you have psychological warfare and remote no-touch torture techniques is why they've been using directed energy and neural weapons on some of us, okay? Biometric data of TIs is trafficked and traded through extensive dark networks of military, corporate, private, university, medicals, banking, and insurance institutes. So there's some insurance institutes again. These insurance institutes are under judgment. Any certain people that's working as insurance agencies, banking, medical. This is why you're seeing everything's changed. Whether it's corporate or private, bitch, it's coming out. It's coming out. Okay, so you have and it's crazy because I automatically thought about the stock and trade market, okay? Because it's like certain times, I remember asking somebody I knew for like $50. I was just like, it was like Spirit told me, ask this person for $50 and see what they said. Of course they said no, but they instantly showed me their phone. It was like they just made some money. So I connected it and I'm like, okay, is this how it actually works where people are, on a secret? It's like a secret weird ass little app where they keep up with where you at, who you with, what you doing, how you doing it. You get paid certain little things if you get information or if something happens or, it's just weird, y'all. But you got the program is a cleverly disguised program of torture and murder in a silent genocide of innocent civilians. Dr. Eric T. Carlston. Organized stalking, community-based contract counterintelligence, counterterrorism, cause workplace mobbing, gaslighting by biotelemetry, remote neuron monitoring. Okay, I read this earlier, but it came back out because I wanted to read these cards. How long is this? All right, let me pull some regular cards and we'll just end this video. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about it because you're not tripping. For some reason, this stuff was going on for a long time in order for certain people to receive perks, and now they're gonna hurt. Okay, I hope all the pockets are broken of the wicked that have chose to do and take payments against, certain people, their own people, whatever the fuck they thought was gonna work. It's not gonna work. Yeah, cause you precious. Okay, and I had seen that too, cause I was actually water reading, and it's like somebody could literally be sitting out somebody's window for hours, peeping through your window. If you sleep Close your windows or your blinds. Okay, something's really strange about somebody's window. Also, wearing turquoise stones and protection stones and stuff coming back up. Um, Also, somebody does like a lot of full moon work, so maybe this is when you can counteract this. You just be in prayer. Okay, speak over your life, speak over yourself. Um, Also, like maybe using some type of stones around your windows. I don't know if you do that, but you have clear your space. Okay, especially if you have been dealing with any type of negative energy. Um, or if you work in spirituality, you know how important it is to clear your space, continuously clear your space because they weird. Um, Also opening your windows, letting bad energy make its way on back away from you. Somebody could have been trying to send some illness or something to their household. This is like somebody too wants to constantly cause some type of frustration or uh, arguments or illness within somebody's household. This is another way that maybe they've been benefiting off something. Also sending certain welfare through your sleep. So maybe turning off different devices, okay, when you sleep, especially if you're dealing with like any type of weaponized technology, which we know what's up. Um, yeah. So if somebody's neighborhood is going through some type of judgment, it could have been because of this stalking. Somebody was getting like a lot of money, trying to keep you under this warfare, but it's over. Like start giving praise now. Start, enjoying things. Write down things that you want, things you want to do. Because you survived all this, okay? I will be back with some more messages, but I wanted to get that out. I hope it reached who it's supposed to. Um, I won't even say I hope it resonates because nobody should have to go through that type of stuff. But I hope it helped.